onto our mat or in our little Pilates zone. I'm going to start in a nice high kneel. So from the side, I'm on my knees and my shins. The hips are in neutral, core engaged, shoulders down and back. From here, I'm going to take my right leg and open it out to the side. So both of my hip bones are still looking forward, but now my right knee and toes are pointed to the wall beside me. Perfect. And then from here, I'm just going to lean sideways, just straight over towards this wall, feeling everything start to stretch and open up through the pelvic floor, through these hip flexors, as I just lean as far over as I can, and then slowly coming back up. If you need to, you can get the hands involved to put your hand on the wall to help you come over, or if you need to kind of rest on that thigh a little bit. But again, I just want to keep both hips forward for now as I lean just straight over and back. And we're just going to do two more. Just want to make sure those hips are nice and opened up for when we get later on into our day. So after my second one, I've leaned all the way over and I'm back up. Now when I lean as far over as I can, I'm going to sideways stretch. And again, I'm just kissing lower ribs to hips and then coming all the way up. So there's no rotation yet. Everything's just going straight sideways, over, and back up. Beautiful. And again, we can do what we need to. If we need to grab a wall to kind of brace ourselves, that's fine. We're going to do two more. So all the way over, getting this lovely stretch through the body. And then last one, all the way over, stretch, 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 and back. Now, let's add some rotation. So if I go sideways, straight over as far as I can, now I'm going to try to rotate to look at the ground. Come back to look at the camera, and then all the way up. And side leaning and stretching over, rotate to look at the floor, come back to my side lean, and all the way up. We'll do one more. All the way over, rotate, stretch to look at the ground, all the way over and back up. Now, if you can, try to straighten the right leg. So again, both hips are still forward, but now my knee is pointing to the wall and my leg is as straight as possible. Now try that side bend over that we did earlier. Hopefully it feels a little deeper as we're able to get a little farther over. And my right hand can just slide along my right thigh, down to my shin, and back up. Perfect. We're just going to do two more, all the way over and back up, all the way over and back up. Perfect. Now, in that same position, if you can, just come forward, set your hands on the ground, and then pressing into the hands in your right leg, send the left leg out to the side. So we're kind of doing the splits. Or if you're like me, we're pretending in our head that we're getting low enough to do the splits. We're just going to hang out here, really feeling those inner thigh adductors, get a nice little stretch. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale, step back in with both knees, come up to my high kneel, and then let's do that other side. So now I'm going to bend my left knee. Both of my hip bones are still looking forward, and my left knee is now looking to the wall across the room. And again, I'm just going to start by leaning sideways over and back up. And again, just stretching out hip flexors, pelvic floor, anything in this kind of pelvic cavity that's feeling tight. This might be where you start to notice that one side feels a lot tighter than the other. Perfect. And so you might start to notice different muscle groups talking at a little bit different frequency than before. Perfect. We'll just do one more and then we'll get our side bend in. So now the next time I come over, I'm going to stretch sideways the opposite way and then back up. So again, I'm just going straight over, trying to kiss lower ribs to top of my hip bone without any rotation quite yet. And again, just trying to go straight sideways over as far as I can and back up. Two more. So all the way over, stretch, 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 and back up. Last one, all the way over, stretch, 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 back up, Now we can add that fun rotation in. So I stretched all the way over as far as I can, and then I'm going to rotate to look at the floor, come back to look at you, and then up. Beautiful. So again, side, stretching all the way over, rotating, looking at the floor, coming back to you, and up. 2 more. All the way over, rotate, back to you, and up. All the way over, rotate, back to you, and up. Beautiful. So now I'm going to straighten that left leg. Again, both my hip bones are as far forward as possible, but my left knee is looking up to the sky. And I'm just going to side bend over, just getting a little bit deeper into this right side stretch, and then all the way up. All the way over, stretching as far as I can, and up. And again, I just like to use, in this case, my left hand to slide along my left thigh and shin, just to kind of help act as a guide. Make 2 more. All the way over and back. Last one. All the way over and back. Beautiful. From here, we can go ahead and come down and lay down, because laying down is fun. Best part of our day. My left leg is going to stay on the ground, and this right leg is going to come up to a 90, or my body's version of a 90. Hips neutral, core engaged. And I'm just going to make leg circles. The circles can be as large or as small as you'd like, so long as my right booty always touches the floor. So if your booty is coming up off the ground and you're feeling those hips wiggle side to side, that means we've lost our form and we've lost control. So I really just want to make my circles as large as I can, or again, as small as you can. If for any reason this is bothering the lumbar spine, you can bend the knee to make a smaller lever. That way it's a little easier. But again, just keeping that leg at a nice 90 for some circles. Give me 2 more in this direction. So 1 and 2. Now let's go the other way with our circles. And this might be where you start to notice that maybe where your thigh bone is intersecting the hip joint, it feels a little different. We might be noticing some sticky patches or something that just doesn't feel as fluid as we make that circle. 2 more. So this is 1 and 2. If you need to, bend the knee, set the leg down. Again, refine neutral, find our core. Now I'm going to lift the left leg. And again, make my circles at that 90. Now again, I'm keeping my left hip and left booty on the ground, and I'm not rocking and rolling those hips. Again, if I do, I'm putting my low back in danger, and I've lost my form. So I've lost my muscle engagement in the leg and the abdominals. And again, that circle can be as big or as small or as square or triangular as you'd like. 2 more in this direction. So 1 and then 2. And then now let's go the other way. And again, just kind of being aware of how that thigh bone is intersecting into the pelvic socket and seeing if anything feels different. Maybe it doesn't feel as comfortable. Maybe there's tight spots, just little things like that. And we're just going to do 3 more. So 3 and then 2 and then 1. Bend that leg, set the leg down. If you need to, you can rock those knees side to side a little bit. And now I'm going to leave the legs straight. We'll leave them there for later. Arms up to the sky, tuck our chin. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, chest lift up and down. Now I'll move a little bit more sideways so you can see. Just chest lifting up and down. If you need to, hands can go behind the head to protect the neck. Perfect. So again, that neck is nice and relaxed as I come up and as I come back down. But now we've done this a time or 2 in our day, so let's add on. So for those of us with our arms long, the next time I chest lift up, I'm going to pump the arms 3 times and then come down. For those of you with the arms behind the head, pump those elbows 3 times and then come down. So up, pump, 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 or if you want to call it a pulse, that's fine. But as I'm doing this with my arms, I'm imagining I'm pressing through something sticky or something with resistance, like maybe honey, molasses, corn syrup, just something with some resistance. That way I can start to feel my back muscles and my shoulder muscles start to activate. 2 more. Up, pump, 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 and then down and up, pump, 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 and down. Perfect. Now from here, the reason we kept our legs long is we're going to do some single leg lifts and lowers. So I'm going to pick a leg, doesn't matter which one, and slowly lift it up to my body's 90 and slowly lower it down to about 45. Again, your 45 and 90 are going to look different than mine because our hip muscles and sockets and joints and needs are all so different. But I'm just slowly lifting one leg up and down. If this is causing any kind of discomfort in the low back, bend that knee. So we're just making a smaller lever as we come up and down. The other thing you can do is shorten the range of motion. So I'm just not lifting as high or as far down. A smaller range of motion. That way I can really focus on my form and my low abs. Give me 2 more. So up and down and up and down. Now I can bring that right leg down, let it take a break, and the left leg is going to do the same thing. All the way up to my body's 90 and down to my body's 45. Perfect. And again, my hips are in neutral, so I'm not lifting that leg so high that I fall out of neutral, and I'm not lowering it so low that I arch my low back. So the hips are nice and stable, core is on, getting into those lower abdominals. And again, if we need to, you can bend that knee, shorten the lever, make it a little easier for core and back. Perfect. You look so great, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect. Let's do 3 more. So this is number 3. This is number 2. And last one. Set that leg down. If you need to, you're more than welcome to shake your back out. Maybe do a couple hip rolls from neutral into imprint and vice versa. So shake, shake, shake. Now, if you can, we're going to do both legs. So lift one leg up to a 90, the other leg up to a 90, and lower both down to your 45, and then lift back up nice and slow. If this is too much for you, you can lower one leg and then the other. And if that's still too much, bend those knees and lower one leg and then the other. Again, if that still is too much, reduce the range of motion. That way we're not lowering and lifting as far with our shoulder lever. It's easier on the lower abs, easier on the back. Perfect. Just makes it more manageable if we're not ready for the full-blown lower and lift. Let's do 3 more. So this is 3 and 2 and 1. If you need to, you can bring those knees to your chest and rock side to side, or whatever feels good for you and your body. From here, I'm going to roll up to a seated position. You can sit however feels good for you and your body. And let's find our band. Or pull it apart. If we don't have something we can pull, you're more than welcome to use hand weights or just your hands. So I'm just going to start really easy, just sitting up nice and tall, hips neutral. I've got my band at about shoulder height and about shoulder width. Palms are facing down. Take a nice deep inhale, and then as I exhale, I'm going to pull those arms apart to opposite walls. Pause, and then slowly bring the arms back in. What I don't want to see is that jerking motion wide and then flinging the arms back in. Nice and slow, all the way as wide as you can. Pause, and then slowly bring those arms back together. The cool thing about this is the slower you go, the more muscle control we have, and the more we get out of this, as opposed to just flapping through it. So slowly wide and slowly back in. Beautiful. You guys are pros at this. If your strand feels too wimpy, you can grab both to make it beefier or fold it in half, depending on the type of band that you have. Let's do 2 more. And then after my second one, we'll take a little mini break. If you need to, shake it out. Especially if you join me at the 9 o'clock class, you're probably like, oh, so many arm things. So now my right arm is going to stay still in front of my shoulder. And now as I exhale, I'm going to pull and rotate with the left, come back to center. Now the left arm stays still. So I pull and rotate with the right. So whatever arm is stationary still has a hard job of staying stationary, while the other arm and our obliques get to have fun with that rotation. If you have hand weights, we would just open to one side and back to center, and then of course open to the other side, back to center. The same is true if you have nothing. So if it's just you doing this body weight. Perfect. So we're going to do one more to one side. So one more to the left and back to center. One more to the right, back to center. If you need to, shake it out. Hopefully we're feeling that shoulder and arms. Excellent. Now, depending on if you have a band or hand weights, I'm going to bring the arms overhead. Shoulders are still down and back in the socket. My hands are over my shoulders. That way, now when I exhale, I can pull the arms apart and back up. So again, slowly pull apart, pause, and then back up. Beautiful. And again, if you have hand weights, we can have the hand weights and just open them down to about shoulder height and back up. Or again, whatever feels good for you and your body. Perfect. Or nothing at all. So, excellent. Down and up. Two more. Down and up. Last one. Down and up. Excellent. If you need to, shake it out for a second. We're going to add on to that. So now with the arms overhead, my right arm is going to stay still, and that left arm is going to pull to the floor while I side bend over and back up. And then the left arm stays still while the right arm pulls to the floor and I side bend straight over and back up. So there's no rotation, just straight to one side and then the other. Perfect. And then the same thing is true if we have those hand weights. So if we have hand weights, I'm just going to lower one hand weight as I side bend, come back up, and then lower one hand weight, side bend, and come back up. Perfect. If this is a little easy and you want to make it harder, as soon as you're over into your side crunch, give me 2 pulses and then come back up. You can do this with the hand weights as well. And if you think, oh, I didn't like that at all, don't worry, you don't have to do any pulses. So just work with what feels good for you and your body. Excellent. We'll do one more on either side and then move on. So this is our last one to the left, last one to the right. Now, if you can, leave those arms behind your back with your band. We're not going to be pulling on it, but if we sit up tall, shoulders are down and back, I'm just going to practice lifting and lowering the arms. So this is a lot of functional mobility that we don't really do often. Like how often are you reaching behind you? But it's still really good for shoulder health. Perfect, as we just lift and lower. And again, the slower we go, the more control we have. We lift and lower, lift and lower. Give me 2 more. Lift and lower, and lift and lower. Perfect. All right. Now, we're going to pick a hand to go overhead with our band. Doesn't matter which, because we'll even out the wash. And then the other hand is going to stay behind my back. So in this example, my left hand is pushing the band into the floor. My right hand is gripping this band. And I'm just going to do an overhead tricep extension. So just lifting that arm straight up and straight down. So from the front, this is what it'll look like. Keeping that elbow pointed straight up to the sky as much as possible, and just working that back of the arm. If you have a hand weight, this is way easier, because then one hand has the hand weight as I lift and lower, up and down, or of course body weight as well. We're just going to do 3 more of these. So 1, 2, and 3. Excellent. From here, that same side, so whatever arm you were just working, is still going to have the band or the hand weight, but I'm going to bring the hand weight, or pardon me, the band and the arm beside me. So again, you can either sit on your band, or you can have the left hand just kind of grab it next to your thigh, and I'm just going to press straight up and down. So I have this nice like half W. If you're sitting on the band, you don't need the left arm. I like to hang on to it just in case. I always have this fear the band's going to make a break for it. Perfect. So again, if you have the hand weight, you're just pressing straight up and down. And again, the shoulder is down and back in the socket, and my elbow is in line with the shoulder. So now the next time I press up, try to lean away from the band a little bit. Come back and down. So again, because my right arm is pushing up, I'm going to side lean to the left, back to center, and down. And we'll just do 3 more. Up, over, back, and down. Up, over, back, down. Last one. All the way up, side lean, back to center, and down. Whew, perfect. From there, we need to lay down with our band. So I lay down on my back, knees bent, feet flat on the ground. My band is going to go across the top of my hips, and my hands are going to trap this band between the floor and my hips. That way, when I bridge up here in a second, the band is giving me resistance. So let's try that. I'm going to take a nice deep inhale, exhale, bridge up, pulling down with the band in my hands, and then slowly coming back down. And again, inhale, exhale, bridge up and back down. You can articulate or hinge here, whatever feels good for your back and your spine. Perfect. And of course, if this feels too wimpy, you can always fold the band in half or grab both sides of your strap if it's a circle like mine. You come all the way up and down. The next time we come all the way up, let's add 2 pulses and then come back down. So coming all the way up, pulse, pulse, and then down. Excellent. All the way up, pulse, pulse, and down. One more. All the way up, pulse, pulse, and down. Perfect. Now I'm still going to hold my band, but my arms are going to go straight up into the sky, about shoulder height. Here, I'll move so you can see better. Now when I bridge up, at the height of my bridge, pause, pull those arms apart, bring them back together over the shoulders, and down. And again, if you have hand weights, just pull those hand weights towards opposite walls, back to center, and down. Excellent. So up, pull apart, back to center, and down. Up, pull apart, back to center, and down. Now for this next one, let's add some pulses. So pull those arms wide, give me 2 pulses of the arms, and then come back in and down. So all the way up with our bridge, hold the hips in the air, pull the arms apart, pulse, pulse, arms back up above shoulders, and down. Last one, all the way up, pull those arms apart, pulse, pulse, back to center, and down. Beautiful. If you need to, you can rock those knees side to side if they're feeling grumpy, if that back is giving you some grief. And then I can come back up, because now we have to do that other side of the body. So now for me, it's going to be my left hand has the band. The right hand goes behind my back onto the floor so we can get the triceps on this side. So if I turn, my right hand is pushing this band into the floor, and then my left hand is lifting up and down. So up and down. And hopefully we're feeling the muscles right here, your triceps, activate. Beautiful. And again, the slower you go, the better it is. For those of you who are using a hand weight, you don't have to use the opposite hand, and you can just lower and lift the left hand, in this case, up and down, finding that nice tricep. And we'll just do 3 more. Keep it nice and easy peasy. So this is 2. And then our last one. Set it down, shake it out. Now again, my left hand is going to be my mover as I bring my arm to the left. And again, I'm just going to secure my band as I press up and down. So again, if I look over my left shoulder, my left arm and elbow are in line with my body as I press up and down. And if you don't have fear of your band making a break for it, your right hand doesn't have to touch it. But I'm a big wimp. So for those of you with a hand weight, you're just going to press up and down, up and down. Let's do 4 more. So 4, 3, beautiful, and 2, and of course our last one, up, and then down. If you need to, shake it out, because now we're going to get that side lean in. So if I press up, side lean over, back to center, and down. And again, I'm just going up and straight over, no rotation. Perfect. So up, over, back, and down. Of course, if you have the hand weight, it's a lot easier. So we're not fighting the band in the same manner. We're just pressing up, side bending over, back, and down. 2 more. Up, over, back, and down. Last one, over, back, and down. Whew, perfect. For now, I'm going to set the band aside, so somewhere out of the way where it won't be a pain in the booty. And then let's lay back down. I like laying down. But now I'm going to keep my knees bent. Arms can be either straight, behind your head, whatever feels good for you in your body. We're just going to do some teaser prep. So with our spine straight and neutral, nice deep inhale, exhale, teaser up, and then slowly coming back down. And ideally, we're teasering up and down as slowly as possible. But again, you do you and whatever your core and back feels like today. So just coming all the way up and down. Now, eventually, this is going to progress to a full-blown teaser. If teaser is not your jam, ignore that, and you can stay in this version. So, totally fine. Give me 2 more, we'll take a break, and then teaser it up. So again, we don't have to do a full teaser. We can stay just like this if we want to. Perfect. So come on down, shake it out, rock it out, whatever feels good. Maybe check in with your neck. Make sure the neck is relaxed. Perfect. All right, from here, I'm going to straighten the legs because I'm going to do a full-blown teaser. So nice deep inhale, exhale, just teaser up, and then slowly teaser on down. Again, we don't have to do that. We could just use the upper body like we were doing. So again, make this your own. So teaser up and then down. And of course, if you can straighten those legs, go for it. It's not all that comfortable for me, so I prefer bent knees. So your teaser can be as beautiful as you'd like. 2 more. We'll take a mini break and then, of course, add on to the good stuff. Excellent. So this is our last one before add-ons. And then down. Excellent. Again, if you need to, shake it out. Whatever feels good for you and your body. Now, the next teaser, we're going to hold. So we're going to inhale, exhale, teaser up, and then crisscross these legs, one over the other. If we don't want to come up in a full-blown teaser, we can just lift and lower one leg. So say we're not ready to hold the legs up, that's fine. We'll do what we can. Perfect. Let's do 4 more. So 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and then slowly teaser on down. Don't worry, we're not done with teasers. Hooray, I'm sure we're all so excited to hear that. So now take a nice deep inhale, exhale, teaser up, hold your teaser, and now scissor the legs, lifting and lowering. Again, if being in that full-blown teaser wouldn't feel good for you, put your hands behind you and then lift and lower the legs. So using those arms as a brace just to help you a little bit. Perfect. We'll do 4 more of these. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Set the feet down. If you need to, round forward and hug those knees. Typically, our back really likes to be rounded like this, so should feel pretty darn good. Shake it out, rock it out if you need to. And then very carefully, we're going to roll on over into a nice quadruped. So as always, that just means hands and knees. Hands under shoulder, knee under hip, and knee about hip width apart, ballpark. From here, just give me some nice cat-cows, arching that spine up to the sky, and then lowering it down. So I'm just lifting my spine up, articulating up, and then lowering and articulating down. If cat-cows don't feel good for you, you're more than welcome to wiggle side to side, sink into a child's pose, downward dog, or otherwise bend into a beautiful pretzel. I will take all versions of what I'm seeing. I just want to warm up that spine before we get into plank town. All right, So as soon as you're ready, I'm going to come into a neutral spine, neutral hips, curl my toes under, nice deep inhale, exhale, knee hover up. And these knees are, oh, I don't know, inch or two off the ground. They're nothing too high, and they're not touching. They're just hovering. We're going to hang out here for a count of 4. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Set those knees down and stretch it out. So whatever feels good for you, shake the wrist, shake the shoulders, whatever's talking to you, just give it some love. Get some rotation in. All right. So now we're going to do some funky side planks. And they're going to be a really modified crab. So don't worry if you're like, I don't remember crab. We'll get there. The easiest way to get into this position is if I come onto my side, my bottom leg is going to be straight. And this top leg is going to go the bottom of my right foot behind my left knee with my right knee pointed up to the sky, left hand on the floor. Take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, push up into this really funky, modified, kind of crabby side plank. And then come all the way down. Perfect. Now let's try that again. So inhale, exhale, come all the way up. And again, my right leg is load bearing, my left arm is load bearing, and come down. You can be on your forearm if you need to. But say our wrist is just rumpy. Now that we figured that out, let's add on to this. So nice deep inhale, exhale, come up. Right leg is load bearing. Now lift and lower the left leg. There's our inner thighs working, pelvic floor, hello core. We're just going to hang out here for a count of 4. So 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Come on down and shake it out. So weird position, but don't worry, it'll make a lot more sense here in a second. So shake, shake, shake. Again, if you need to, you can be on that forearm if that hurts the wrist. Perfect. So now let's add on. So I'm going to get in that same position. Inhale, exhale, modified crab up. Right leg is load bearing. Lift the left leg. Pull it into tabletop and send it long. Pull it into tabletop and send it long. 2 more. In and out and in and out, and then come on down. Shake out whatever you're feeling. So whatever's feeling tight or stiff or like it needs a little love. Perfect. Shake, shake, shake. Last one, and then we can move on. I'm sure everyone's like kind of over it. So, all right, as soon as you're ready, get back in position. Inhale, exhale, come up, lift the bottom leg, and then just give me little circles from the hip socket and not the foot. That way we're getting this bottom leg some nice love and some energy. 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Thank goodness. Now from here I get to sit. We like sitting. Legs straight, heels down into the floor, toes up to the sky. Arms go behind me, hands can point wherever they need to. Nice deep inhale, exhale, reverse plank up. Ideally, when you lift these hips up to the sky, your gaze comes up to the sky to protect your neck. We're going to hold this for a count of 4. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then come down. Again, if you need to, you can round forward. Give that spine a little bit of a break. I know reverse planks are kind of weird for us. We don't use them too terribly often. I'm going to angle myself so hopefully you can see better. So now, let's add on to those reverse planks. So again, assume that position. Hands point wherever they need to. Deep inhale, exhale, reverse plank up. Now using just the right leg, step it in, step it out, and then just the left leg in, out, out, in, out. 1 more on the right, 1 more on the left, and then we'll come down and take a break. Again, if you need to, round forward, stretch, shake it out, whatever feels good. Just in 1 more, and then we can go to the other side. I'm sure you're all thrilled. So, we got this. Hands behind, legs long, nice deep inhale, exhale, reverse plank up, walk the right leg in, and then the left. Oh, hey, crab, we haven't seen you in a bit. Walk 1 leg out, and then the other, reverse plank. So I'm walking in, and then back out. Now, some people might call this table. I learned it as crab. So I apologize if my jargon is different than yours. Just walking in and out. We'll do one more in, one more out, and then swap sides. Out, down, and then of course, shake it out however you need to. Especially making sure, in my case, my right wrist is nice and happy, because I'm about to go to those side kind of crabs on the other side. So shake it out, do what you need to do, and now we're going to do the other side. So again, my right leg now is straight. My left foot is going to go behind my right knee on the floor. See that? And my left knee goes up. Right hand is on the floor. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, come all the way up. We're just going to hang out here for a bit. This is our base move. So let's hold this for a count of 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. Shake it out. We're going to try that one more time before we start adding on. All right, ready? Perfect. Set that hand down. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, come up. And again, really think about making the left leg load bearing so that here in a second, we can start lifting the right leg. And then come down. Perfect. Shake it out. Do whatever feels good, whatever your body needs. Again, you can be on that forearm if you need to. So, as soon as you're ready, now let's start adding movement in. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, come up. And then lift and lower the bottom leg. Hello, inner thighs, pelvic floor again. You lift and lower. Let's just do 4 more. So 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and come on down. Again, shaking, stretching, whatever you feel like you need. Don't worry, we have 2 more, and we're done. All right. So shake, shake, shake. Whatever's feeling like it needs it. Now, back to that position. Nice deep inhale, exhale, come up, lift that bottom leg, bring it into tabletop, press it out. Into tabletop, press it out. Let's just do 2 more. And 2, out, and down. Again, shaking that wrist out if it needs it, or if you're on your forearm, shake that shoulder out. Perfect. See lots of arms moving, so that's always a good sign. At least you're feeling something. All right. All we have left is circle 10, and then we can move on. Thank goodness. So, ready for this? As a rock stars, you got this. Hand down, right leg long, left leg into position, come all the way up, and then just give me little circles. Little circles. Beautiful. And we'll just do 3 more. So 3, 2, 1, and all the way down. Shaking out whatever you need to. Give yourself a little shake, a little stretch. Maybe go one side, and then the other. Perfect. As soon as you're ready, come back down on your back. So I'm on my back, feet are firmly planted, and give me some more bridges. So come all the way up and down. Again, articulate, hinge, whatever feels best for your body. All the way up and down. Perfect. But now we just did this like 5 minutes ago, so we're all good at our bridges. So go ahead and bring the right leg up to a 90, bridge up, down, set the right leg down, left leg up, bridge up, down, and then switch. So one leg up, bridge, down, and then swap. Perfect. And again, if this 90 straight leg doesn't work for you, you can bend the leg to tabletop. I'm totally fine with that. Whatever feels good for you and your body. Give me 1 more on either side, and then we'll add on. Up, down, foot down, up, bridge, lower, down, of course, rock the knee side to side, or whatever is feeling good for you and your body today. Now, let's add on to that. So, if you could keep the leg at 90, now when I bridge up, pause, give me 2 lifts and lowers before we come down and then switch. So now left leg up, bridge, 2 lifts and lowers, and come down. If keeping the leg straight didn't work for you, bridge up and give me 2 tabletop bends and extends, and then come down and switch legs. So again, just working with what feels good for you and your body today. Perfect. And we'll keep this short and sweet. So 1 more on the right side. And then of course, one more on the left, and then we'll be done. Down and up and down and up. Excellent. Again, if you need to, rock side to side. You can hug the knees to your chest. And then as soon as you feel stretched out, I'm going to roll over onto my stomach. Perfect. All right. Now, if you'd like, you can put your forearms in front of you. Your forehead can rest on them like a pillow. If I do that, there's no way you'll be able to hear me. So I will not be demoing that. And I'm going to bring my hips to neutral, core engaged. I'm going to take a nice deep inhale. And as I exhale, lift both legs up and down. So just straight up and down, keeping the legs straight and trying really hard to not lift so high that I feel pain and discomfort in the low back. If you feel pain and discomfort, just don't lift and lower the legs as high. Perfect. Nice deep inhale. Deep exhales. Now when you lift the legs the next time, pause, give me 2 pulses up and down, and then set the legs down. Lift the legs, 2 pulses, and down. Making sure that when I pulse, I'm not just bending at the knees, because that'll feel fun, but it's not actually going to do anything for you. So lift, pulse, pulse, and down. Lift, pulse, pulse, and down. Perfect. Take a break, shake it out if you need to. Now we're going to do something a little different. So now when I lift my legs, I'm going to make 2 circles and set the legs down. Lift, circle, circle, set the legs down. Lift, circle, circle, and down. We'll just do 2 more. Lift, circle, circle, and down. Lift, circle, circle, and down. Perfect. Me too. Shake, shake, shake. Now, as soon as you're ready, I'm going to roll onto my side. When I'm on my side, my bottom shoulder is down and back. My knees are bent, and my knees aren't going anywhere. They're glued into this situation. Both arms are straight. Both shoulders are down and back. Now, as I exhale, I'm just going to start rotating my upper body, in this case, to the left. So my left arm is stretching out behind me. My gaze is looking behind me, but my knees are still touching. So my left knee isn't sliding backwards as I rotate backwards. It's staying stuck in position. And then as I inhale, I'm just going to come back to center. And then, of course, exhale, rotate, reach, and stretch behind. And then come back to center. If you have room overhead, which I do not, the next time you stretch your arm behind you, bring it overhead as you come back to the start position. I won't be able to demo that because I don't have any space. But again, bringing it around and overhead. So exhaling, rotate and reach, and then back to center. One more, and then we'll move on. All the way, stretch, reach, up, 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 up. Now with my next exhale, all of me rotates onto my back. And I'm going to imagine that someone just glued my shoulders onto the floor and my head onto the floor. My knees are still glued together. And as I exhale, I'm just going to rock my knees, in this case, to the right. And my left hip can come up off the floor so long as my left shoulder does not. And then when I inhale, the knees come back up to the sky. And then exhale, I'm going to lower those knees to the left. Again, right booty can come up off the floor, but not right shoulder. Inhale, come back up. And then exhale, going, in this case, back to the right. So we're just slowly going back and forth. And again, just to your body's range of motion. So if anything past here, say, bothers the low back, don't try to force it. Just work with what our body feels. Give me one more to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. And then just kind of roll on over the rest of the way to the left. So that way, now my legs are in tabletop, knees are still glued together, but my left arm in this case is down and back. My right arm is on top. And now when I exhale, I'm rotating to the right, and my gaze is going to the right. Again, both knees are glued into position. As I rotate right, this top right knee isn't sliding backwards. It's staying forward and in place. Inhale, come back to the start position. Exhale, rotate, stretch, and reach. And back to the start position. We'll do one more of these and then do the overhead. So exhale, reach, stretch, rotate. Inhale back normally. Now we can do the overhead. Then exhaling, rotating. Have the space. Bring the arm overhead as you come back to the start position. If not, don't worry about it. You might have a narrow studio like I do. Perfect. And then stretch and reach and come overhead. Beautiful. One more. All the way back and over and up, 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 up. And back to the start position. Beautiful. So now, as soon as you're ready, roll onto your back. Hooray, we're on our back. One leg at a time. I'm going to bring my legs to tabletop, and then I'm going to glue the knees into position. Now, with my knee in position, I'm just going to do some alternating toe taps. So, what I normally see is people just kind of let their feet drop and try to kick themselves in the booty. But try to really keep the knee locked into position and lower the entire leg. That way you can really feel these low abs working. If this bothers the low back, just don't go down as far. So keep the range of motion really small. Perfect. And you can always go into an imprint. Always, always, always. So just lowering down and lifting up. But now we've done a toe tap. So the next time you lower that leg down as far as you can, give me 2 pulses and then bring it back up. So lower that leg down, 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 pulse, pulse, and then come up. If you'd like this to be a little harder and the pulses aren't enough, lower both legs down and bring both legs up. If that's still not hard enough, lower both legs down, pulse, pulse those legs, and come back up. If you don't like that, you can go back to every other leg. So again, just talk to us a little bit. And again, pulses are optional. It just depends on how much you want to get out of your day. 2 more. So all the way down over to your range of motion and up. And then down and pulse. Pulse if you'd like. Back up. If you want, you can hug those knees to your chest. Rock side to side. Whatever feels good for you. Hopefully you've been feeling lots of low abs today. And then we're going to go back to, if you want, feet on the floor or feet in tabletop, whatever feels good for you. And just give me that good old-fashioned chest lift again. So chest lifting up and down. Again, if you'd like, those legs can be in tabletop. Just make sure that when we chest lift up, the knees don't come in. So we're just keeping those legs glued into position. Perfect. And now, add those pulses back in. So as I come up, I'm going to pump my arms up and down 3 times and come back down. If you have your hands behind your head, you can pump those elbows in and out as we come down. So up, pump, 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 and down, and up, pump, 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 and down. 2 more, all the way, pump, 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 and down. Last one, up, pump, 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 and down. Of course, if you need to hug the knees to your chest, set them down, rock it out, whatever feels good for you in your body, whatever feel like you need right now to just stretch out and be comfortable. As soon as you're ready and you feel like you've stretched everything, very carefully roll onto your side, come up to a seated position, and then very carefully, because we've been on the mat the entire time, come up to standing. However you'd like to do that. Perfect. Once we're at standing, I'm going to stand way back here. Hopefully you can see me. Bring those arms overhead. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, roll forward like I'm rolling over an imaginary beach ball. Try to put my hands on the ground. You can shake your head yes, shake your head no. Give those arms a little wiggle. Shake the shoulders. Shake the booty. Give all of you a shake, whatever you feel like you need. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, start stacking that spine up. 1 vertebrae at a time. Of course, with our head being the final thing to come up.